In this video, we'll focus on the differences between an embedded column and a surface mount column used for our shade structures. Column type is dependent upon a variety of factors, like the style and size of the shade structure, for example. The key difference between these two columns can be seen during installation. Let's dig in. An embedded column, also known as an in-ground column, is set about 3 feet into the ground, more specifically a footer, and supported with bracing. Then concrete is poured around the column. Installation stops until the concrete has fully hardened. Now that simplifies the installation process, but just know that here we're essentially embedding the column into a footer in the ground. Embedded columns are ideal for smaller shade structures. They allow for quicker installation since you don't need to wait for the concrete to harden before setting the column. However, removing an in-ground column does require cutting the column. When installing a surface mount column, you dig your footer, set the anchor bolts, and allow the concrete to harden before attaching the column with a base plate. Here, we're embedding the anchor bolts into the footing, and then the column is installed on top of the footer, either above or slightly below ground level. So why or when should you choose a surface mount column? Surface mount columns are typically used for shade structures that have larger columns or structures that need to be positioned in exact locations. This is because it's both easier to set and position anchor bolts in concrete rather than large columns. This column style simplifies and streamlines the installation process. Additionally, this style allows for more installation flexibility as foundations can be prepared in advance even before the shade structure arrives. Another upside, surface mount columns can be easily unbolted and removed, with the anchor bolts cut down if needed. So while both column styles still require digging footer holes, an in-ground mount column is embedded directly into the footer, while a surface mount column is installed on top of the footer, secured with anchor bolts.